Hello, everybody. My name is Martin Malkumian, and I am the Vice Principal of Toronto International Academy, located in Ontario, Canada. I want to discuss with you some details about our school and get into some small specifics about what kind of things you may expect when you arrive at TIA and what kind of curriculum expectations and other educational expectations you might encounter when you are coming to Canada, and especially to our school as well. So I'm going to get started with a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to go through some of the slides with you, and I'm not going to cover all of them. I'm not going to discuss them all in detail, but I will try to get through the more important ones. And of course, if you have any questions, more specific questions about anything that I say, you can ask us at our booth. We will be available there live to answer your questions. So let's get started. So, whenever you open our brochure, you will see the content section like this. Page 3 is about us, page 4 to 8 is how to succeed with TIA, pages 9 to 15 is why you should choose Toronto International Academy. Page 16 is about homestay, page 17 is about our e-school, and page 18 is about how to register. So our school is located in Mississauga, Ontario. This is very close to the city of Toronto, which is the biggest city in Canada. Our school has had an excellent track record as far as getting our students to universities. This is a pie chart showing you the different universities that our students had gone to in Ontario. As it says here, 90% of TIA graduates go to universities of their choice. And so this data is from the years 2013 to 2020. As you could see, and I'm sure this is not a big surprise, the University of Toronto takes the biggest chunk of the pie, as most students are interested in going there. It is considered the top university in Canada, and it has a very good reputation around the world. So, it's 33% for U of T, but then, there are many other institutions which are also very respectable universities. For example, the University of Waterloo. This is probably one of the best engineering or computers related university. McMaster with 10%. This is an excellent institution for any kind of medical studies. And there are many other ones here. Some students just decide that they want to go to college, so you see this 12% here, and that's their choice. It's completely admirable and respectable, and whatever the students choose, that's where we take them to, and we do our best to make sure they get into the institutions that they would like to get into. This is a very beautiful tree that our marketing coordinator created. This is the TIA tree of success. Basically, it outlines roughly, on average, the kind of expectations you need to have depending on the program that you want to go into. So here's TIA. One of the things that most international students require when they go to university is some kind of an international English standardized test, like a language test. It could be IELTS, it could be TOEFL, there are other ones out there. So that's something that's necessary. Students also need to complete the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, obviously. And the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, OSSD, it requires 30 high school credit courses, 40 volunteer hours, and you need to pass or you need to attain the Ontario literacy requirement. So that's either a test that you need to write or a course that you have to take. So these are the three main requirements to get the high school diploma in Ontario. I mentioned IELTS already. Usually, universities need an overall IELTS score of 6.5. Now, some programs, if they are more competitive, for example, at U of T, the University of Toronto, if you go into the Rotman Business School, they probably require an IELTS score greater than 6.5, maybe like a 7. And then, of course, when you are applying to university, again, depending on the program that you desire to go into, you need to have certain courses in grade 12 that satisfy the prerequisites of that program. For example, let's say you decide to go to computer science or mathematics. Um, these programs require at least 2 math courses in grade 12, like an advanced functions course or a calculus course. They may also require physics. And they may also recommend students to take some kind of a computer science course in high school, whether it be in grade 11 or 12. Um, I'll give another example, medicine. And I think it's pretty obvious. Medicine would require biology, chemistry, maybe even physics, in addition to 2 math courses. Medicine programs are probably the ones that require the highest number of mandatory, like specific mandatory grade 12 prerequisite courses. So, if you have more questions about how the whole application process to universities work in Ontario, please ask me, and I would be very happy to explain that to you live at our booth. And by the way, this hat indicates 5% of T.I.A graduates. So this kind of tells you what programs our students go to, right? This tells you which universities they go to, and this tells you what programs are most popular. And as you can see, we have really the STEM, the business programs. That's what what a lot of our students are interested in. Yeah, I'm going to skip through some of these alumni pages. I guess one of the things I should mention about our school is the small class sizes. We try to maintain, an average of 8 to 10 students per class, which is, oh, that's me, by the way, me teaching my class. So we try to have 8 to 10 students per classroom. That way students have an easier access to the teacher. They're not they're not as shy as they might be in a classroom with like 30 students. And the teacher is able to assess and check on students much easier that way, and thereby identify any issues that students might be having. And that way we can intervene sooner and help them out, make sure that they do well in the course. Every single student is also counseled very closely. Again, because our school doesn't have like 1,000 students, it is easier to have access to counselors who can help students in choosing university or college programs, or any kind of personal issues that they might be having. They need counseling for that. We're easily available. My office, I'm the vice principal, but sometimes students come to me and I might have to act in the capacity of a guidance counselor. And that's fine. My door is open. They're welcome to come in if they have any issues. So that's just something that we can provide that larger schools might have a difficulty providing, simply because they have way too many students, and it's hard to have a more of a personable relationship with students. This is kind of an important section here. So it's called flexible admission. And here it explains, first of all, the way our school works, like as far as the school year is concerned. So we have 6 semesters in our school. Many schools, or most schools in Ontario, they just have 2 semesters, right? September to January, and then January to June. But for us, we have six. We have from September to November, from November to February, from February to April, and then from April to June. That ends 4 semesters, but then we also have two more in July and August. So July is one, August is another. Um, Six in total. This allows students to, it allows them to plan differently. Students typically have only two courses per semester. So, two, 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 two. Um, and then in the summertime, it's usually one and one. So basically, you still complete the same number of credits as in a public school, except it's more kind of segmented and divided up. Um, for a lot of students, this is really great because they don't have as many subjects to focus on at the same time. Again, in public schools, you might have 2 semesters, but every semester has like 4 classes, maybe even five classes, and that's pretty tough. That's a lot of different subjects to be focusing on at the same time. When international students arrive at our school, uh, one of the most important things is the application process. We need to make sure that when you apply as an international student, that you submit, all the required documents. And again, if you're curious about what those documents are, again, ask me at the booth, and I can help you out there. Um, this is something that the school does for every single international student. So whenever you do apply, you have to submit, one of the things you have to submit is your transcript from whatever school you were in. And what we do is we take a look at the transcript. We try to give you equivalency credits for whatever subjects you had completed back home. So typically, again, this is, it all depends on one student, and another student. So, this is not kind of like set in stone, but typically, if you completed grade 9 and you want to come to TIA for grade 10, we usually give an up to 8 credits. If you are completed grade 10, then we give you 16. If you finished grade 11, we give you 20, it could be 21. Again, it depends on your situation. And if you finished grade 12 in your home country, but you come here and you might want to do grade 12 in Canada before you apply to universities here, then we usually give you 24. Sometimes, if you finish some post-secondary studies in your country and you come here, you want to take some courses in the high school here, we might give you 26. Every student, when they apply, receives a preliminary academic plan. So here's kind of a sample of that. And this plan indicates, again, it's preliminary, but it does indicate roughly how many credits we would grant you, how many credits you have left to complete, and a rough tentative plan on what kind of courses you're going to be taking, like in grade 11 and grade 12, depending on your year. We also actually provide, remember the 40 hours of volunteering that you have to do to complete your high school diploma requirements? Well, we also provide those hours as equivalencies too. So, if you finished, let's say, grade 11, we might provide you like 25 hours. So you only have 15 hours left to do in Canada. We do not provide any equivalencies for the Ontario literacy requirement. However, we can't. So you still have to do that no matter what grade you are in. Okay, here are some extracurricular activities. We have TIA's clubs. As you can see, again, this map might not be exactly so precise, but Toronto International Academy, we are located in Mississauga, Ontario, which is a suburb of Toronto, and there are various universities around us. The University of Toronto, I know it says Toronto, but they have different campuses. So there is a main campus in downtown Toronto, but in Mississauga, where TIA is, it's about 5 minutes drive from our school. There's a University of Toronto campus here too. And then there's actually a third University of Toronto campus in Scarborough, which is a little further east of Mississauga. As you can see here, there's other institutions dotted all over the map. McMaster, Brock, Ryerson. So downtown Toronto has a lot. It has U of T, Ryerson, York, OCAD. Then you have Guelph and Waterloo. So if you're a big engineering person, you want to go to probably the top engineering university. So you probably want to go to Waterloo right here. Let's see. Yeah. So if you want to find out more about Mississauga, you can ask us. You could definitely go on YouTube or something or Google about Mississauga. Mississauga is, I think, the sixth largest city in Canada now. It's booming actually, and it's growing very fast. It's becoming rather metropolitan in the last 5 to 10 years. And the connection between Mississauga and Toronto, it's just growing more and more. So it's definitely a place to be if you are in the GTA. It's one of the most popular places to move into by almost anybody who comes to the GTA. They either go to Toronto or Mississauga, definitely in that radius. Okay. And then we also have the eSchool. That's something else I want to mention. We have over 40 credits available on our eSchool, and basically the eSchool is almost the same as far as the credits that you get on eSchool. They are exactly the same as you would get in a day school if you were part of the real physical classroom. The only difference is eSchool is more independent type of learning. So if you are good at that, if you're good at at sitting down and studying, and you're very kind of studious, then I would recommend eSchool for you definitely. We even give live video sessions for our eSchool students. So whoever your teacher is, and again, the teachers are here, they are located in a physical school. The teachers, you were able to schedule appointments to have tutoring, to have explanations, clarifications about any of the assignments or the activities that you have to do on your eSchool. So definitely I would recommend that very much if you are if you want to join TIA, but let's say you can't come to Canada immediately. Again, we have this whole COVID situation that might make coming to Canada difficult, but no, not to worry, because you could already start with TIA without even coming to Canada. And there's a lot of students right now who are doing exactly that, and it really is helping them toward attaining the OSSD, the secondary school diploma from our school. So this page, this is the last page now, it kind of explains how to register to the school. So if you are interested in registering to our school, you get in touch with us. What you would need to do is complete a series of, or submit a series of application documents. So that includes the application form, looks like this. You would need to submit your transcripts, your passport, health records. We will give you the exact list. You would do that by email. And then what we would do after that is send you a preliminary acceptance letter, and also a school invoice, right, indicating how much your tuition fees are. Once you pay the tuition fees, we send a finalized official letter of acceptance, and this is the letter that you would have to send to the immigration services to apply for a student visa. The student visa is right here. Once you get that, you arrive to Canada. and then you come to our class, you come to our school. We meet each other, we kind of introduce ourselves, and what you would have to do, just like almost any international student has to do, is complete two assessment tests: an English assessment test and a math assessment test. This is just necessary for us to get an idea of your English and math skills. Um, we are going to then recommend to you what kind of level math you should be taking, as well as what kind of level English you should be taking. Once that is finished, then you're going to have like a academic counseling session with one of our counselors. Um, and you're going to be kind of explained, well, I guess we would need to know what your goals are. That's like the main thing of this counseling session. What are your goals? And then once we find that out, we would provide, the kind of steps you can take to achieve your goals, what kind of courses you should be taking. Um, and of course, we will recommend different university programs, different universities for you um, during this session. Oh, yeah, course selection. There we go. That's part of the session as well. At the beginning of the year, there is always a school orientation day, and that's when myself and the guidance counselor, Mr. Bilal Bakri, we introduce the school to the students. We discuss the different rules and regulations. We talk about the diploma requirements. Um, and any kind of questions that students have, that's when they need to ask us. So that's one thing I really think is very important. When you arrive, uh, I know it's a new environment. You're an international student, and it's everything is new here. You've never been to Canada. But what's really important is to ask questions whenever you don't understand something. Okay, don't stay quiet, don't be shy. We don't mind any questions that you might have for us. In fact, we really like it when students ask questions, when students show initiative and the drive to make sure that they understand everything, to make sure that they can get whatever it is that they're trying to reach for. Okay. Yeah, and so that's about it. Again, like I said, I didn't cover everything in this video. I tried to kind of cover the generalities. But again, if you have any questions, we have the booth. Please make sure you use it. Uh, Come see us. Come talk to us. Say hello. If you have any questions, we'd be more than happy to answer them and help you out. Okay. Thanks again, and hope you have a great, great day.